The forest awoke with a gentle hum that morning, but something in the air felt different, charged, expectant, as if nature itself was holding its breath. Word had spread like wildfire through the woods. Today was the big race between Khargosh, the fastest creature around, and Kachwa, the slowest yet one of the calmest souls anyone had ever known. Animals gathered from every corner, birds perched along branches, squirrels chattered with excitement, and deer formed quiet lines near the edge of the clearing. Even the wind seemed to pause, eager to witness what would unfold. Khargosh stood at the starting line, stretching his legs with confident ease. His sleek fur glistened under the rising sun, and his bright eyes sparkled with a mischievous arrogance he never tried to hide. This race wasn't his first, or his 10th. He had won every single one, beating even the fastest foxes and the quickest deer. Winning wasn't just something he did, it was who he was. As he bounced on his paws, he cast amused glances toward the small figure beside him. Kachwa rested at the starting line, breathing steadily as if savoring the peacefulness before the chaos. His shell, weathered with scratches from years of carrying burdens heavier than himself, looked dull compared to Khargosh's shining coat. Yet, something in his eyes held a deep, quiet strength. He wasn't here to win. He was here because he believed in showing up, giving his best, and honoring his promises, values that mattered more to him than speed ever could. The crowd's whispers buzzed with doubt. Why is he even trying? A squirrel muttered. It's hopeless, laughed a crow from above. Khargosh smirked, offering a teasing grin. Ready to eat my dust. He joked. But Kachwa simply nodded, offering a warm smile that lacked any hint of rivalry. Let's both try our best, he replied calmly. The starting whistle pierced the air. Khargosh shot forward in a blur of motion, legs pumping, heart pounding with adrenaline. Dust rose behind him in a trail, a symbol of his pride. Kachwa moved one slow step at a time, his feet pressing gently into the earth. His movements were steady, deliberate, almost meditative. The gap between them widened quickly, but Kachwa never looked discouraged. Khargosh sped through the forest with ease, dodging branches, leaping over roots, and occasionally glancing back to see just how far ahead he was. He laughed under his breath. This isn't even a challenge, he thought. I could nap and still win. And for a moment, he considered doing just that. But something pulled him forward, a desire to end this race quickly, to celebrate the victory everyone expected. As he approached the riverbank that marked the halfway point, Khargosh heard a faint, trembling cry. At first, he ignored it, assuming it was the wind or a bird. But then it came again, a small, desperate bleat that made him freeze mid-step. Curiosity tugged at him. He turned his head and scanned the area until his eyes landed on a tiny fawn tangled in a thorny bush. Its legs were trapped between sharp branches, and its soft fur was scraped, bleeding lightly. The little creature trembled in fear, unable to free itself. Khargosh's competitive mind urged him, just go. Win the race. Someone else will help later. But his heart, often overshadowed by his pride, began to beat differently, more steadily, more urgently. He approached the fawn slowly, speaking in a soft tone he didn't know he had. Hey, it's okay. I'm here. The thorns scratched at his fur as he pushed his body into the bush. Each movement stung, each tug tore a bit more, but he didn't stop. The fawn whimpered, its small chest rising and falling rapidly. Khargosh whispered reassuring words, trying to calm the frightened creature as he worked. Minutes passed, long, painful minutes where every thorn felt like a reminder that kindness always cost something. Finally, with one last push, the fawn's leg came free. Khargosh nudged it gently away from the thorns and led it to the river. He cleaned its wounds with water, using his own fur to dry its face. The fawn pressed its head against him, shaking but safe. Khargosh felt something shift inside him, a warmth he had never felt after winning a race. As he stood beside the recovering fawn, he heard slow, steady footsteps approaching. Kachwa emerged from the forest path, breathing calmly, eyes softening as he saw the scene. He stopped beside Khargosh and observed the small deer resting peacefully. You should go, Khargosh said quietly. You can still win. I stopped. You didn't. But Kachwa shook his head. Win, he echoed gently. You've already won something far more important today. Khargosh blinked, stunned by the sincerity in Kachwa's voice. The forest, once filled with cheers and excitement, now felt silent, humbled by the sight of two racers who had paused their competition for compassion. The fawn's mother, a graceful doe, appeared moments later. She rushed to her baby, nudging it protectively, tears of relief glimmering in her eyes. She bowed her head deeply at Khargosh, a gesture of gratitude deeper than words. Khargosh's ears lowered. For the first time, he felt small, not due to shame, but due to realization. All his victories, his boasting, his speed, none had ever made him feel this whole. Kachwa waited until the fawn and doe left before turning to Khargosh again. "Shall we finish the race?" he asked. Khargosh nodded, and together they walked side by side. No dust, no rushing, just two souls sharing the path. When they reached the finish line, the crowd erupted in applause, not divided but united. They didn't cheer for speed or strength. They cheered for kindness, for friendship, for the quiet truth that even the fastest heart slows down for compassion. Khargosh looked around, humbled and transformed. Kachwa placed a gentle hand on his shoulder, whispering, "Speed wins races. Kindness wins life." In the days that followed, the forest changed. Khargosh changed. He became more patient, more thoughtful, more trusted. He helped others, not because he wanted praise, but because he had learned the power of being there for those in need. Kachwa became his closest friend, and together they taught younger animals that strength isn't measured by how fast you move, but by how deeply you care. And whenever someone asked who won the famous race, both of them shared the same warm, knowing smile and answered simply, "We both did, because we learned what truly matters." The forest remembered the race not as a battle of speed but as a lesson of the heart, passed down from one generation to the next, inspiring everyone to choose kindness over competition, compassion over ego, and love over pride.